Hey, it's Ryan here to talk about Solo: A Star Wars Story, the movie that's been getting quite a lot of negative attention ever since it was announced. Some people seem mad about it. They're like, we didn't ask for this movie, no thank you. Harrison Ford is the only Han for me and this is blasphemy. Other people are just like, well, it's clearly gonna suck. They fired the directors halfway through production, so there's no way it's gonna be good. And with The Last Jedi dividing audiences, the whole dialogue around Star Wars right now isn't super great. Despite all that, here's how Solo: A Star Wars Story could save the franchise, or at the very least be better than people expect. Maybe you're gonna like it. If you're new to the channel, you can hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay up to date with our new videos. So the first reason that Solo is gonna be a good movie is this guy right here. Donald Glover is the king of all things. He's one of those guys where if you go on his Wikipedia page, they make you go to another page for all his awards, and then you have a pretty long scroll ahead of you. He's won awards as a comedian, a director, an actor, a musician, a writer, all the things, all of them. His involvement in this project is a very, very good sign. If you haven't noticed, I am a fan of Donald Glover. But he's not the only reason that Solo is gonna be good. This guy right here, Lawrence Kasdan. It's possible that you don't recognize his face, but you're definitely familiar with his work. He's written what are seen by a lot of people as the best Star Wars movies: Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Force Awakens. And he's the one who wrote the script for Solo along with his son. If I was a betting man, I would be willing to bet that this script is awesome. And I'm pretty sure that Disney and Lucasfilm think so too. After all, they fired directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller, two very successful and talented directors, reportedly because they were encouraging too much improv and veering away from the script. They must really be confident in this script. Enter Ron Howard, the Academy Award-winning director they hired to replace Lord and Miller. So this is gonna be the first Star Wars movie directed by a director who has an Oscar for directing. I mean, George Lucas was nominated for American Graffiti back in 1973, a movie that, funny enough, starred Ron Howard in one of the lead roles and also featured Harrison Ford. So yes, Lord and Miller were fired, Ron Howard was brought on. That's being portrayed as a bad thing for the movie, but that's probably a really good thing for the movie. And apparently Disney and Lucasfilm are so impressed that they gave him even more stuff to reshoot. It resulted in pretty much reshooting the whole thing for double the budget. Again, that makes it seem like they're really confident that this is gonna be a hit. You don't double the budget of something you expect to flop. The script must be really good. Next up, let's talk about the star, Alden Ehrenreich. There were reports that Disney and Lucasfilm hired an acting coach for him on set because they weren't entirely satisfied with his performance. The internet kind of blew up over that when it came out, with people saying that's just more proof that this movie's gonna suck. But that's not only super exaggerated, it's also just kind of uninformed. It's kind of like when people hear that movies are doing reshoots and they're like, oh no, this movie's gonna suck. But reshoots are pretty common and they've led to some great movies. It's kind of the same with having an acting coach on set. Having an acting coach on set doesn't mean that an actor is doing a bad job, and it's actually fairly standard to have them around. They're there to help get the best performance possible out of the actor. And keep in mind that Ehrenreich is taking on an iconic role here. He has to nail the voice and mannerisms perfectly and organically, because people are going to be looking at his performance specifically extremely closely. It makes sense that they want to get it exactly right, and that's something that an acting coach can help with. The fact that they chose him out of the 2,500 people they considered for the part means the dude has some skills. Anyway, that's my take on things. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this whole thing. Are you excited about Solo: A Star Wars Story? Or are you in the camp that's like, meh? If you watch this video on our Facebook page, that link will let you jump over to YouTube and subscribe. You can also hit up ScreenRant.com for the latest movie and TV news. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.